some time now, the Naira has been on a downward spiral, especially since the season of supply of Forex to the BTCs by the CBN. So obviously, this matter of suspension is not going away anytime soon. Well, we have another financial analyst in the house today who will be telling us why the CBN needed to have explored other measures, in tackling the forex crisis in the country. But then I must tell you that the CBN governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, is trying his best and he's doing his best. It's not easy, as we all know now, to run a nation's apex bank. So we must give him kudos and we will have to be patient with him. Also, from today, and as promised, I will be showing you the administration of the APCON, that is the Association of Bureau de Change Operators of Nigeria, APCON, on the administration from the national to the zonal down to the individual states. You will be hearing from them their challenges and how they go about their businesses, daily. Plus, of course, the impact of this suspension of forex supply to their businesses. Plus our other segments, which you have come to fall in love with. Today is going to be another great package for you. This is FOREX Matters. My name is Chris Paulo Taigwe. I am your Forex guide. You're welcome back. Before we go into the stories today, let's have a look at developments in the global and local economy.
United Kingdom to explore issuing its own digital currency amid Bitcoin boom. The Central Bank of Nigeria says fake 1,000 Naira and 500 Naira notes declined in 2020. The Central Bank of Nigeria says foreign currency inflows dropped to $1.83 billion in 2020 year of COVID. The Central Bank of Nigeria says foreign currency deposit by banks reduced significantly in 2020.
Foreign exchange, hard currencies, dollar, pound sterling, euro, Dutch marks, French francs, and so on. It is all about Forex. It is the denominator that lubricates the economy as well as your life. International trade is run by it. Our national economy is dependent on it. As a manufacturer, it is what you need to bring your materials from overseas. And as a parent, it is what you need to send your children to school abroad. And for critical medical treatment, Forex is what you need to get that hospital outside Nigeria. So you need to know how it's faring in the market, how and where you can get it through the banks and the BDCs. Forex Matters will bring to you information on developments in the Forex market and how the community is responding, just to make it good for you. Forex Matters, your monitor on Forex developments.
It is no longer news that the BDCs have been suspended from weekly forex supplies by the CBN. But then the matter has continued to generate, concerns from experts and the generality of Nigerians. And today we will be having a Segun Sopitan, who has spent over 20 years of his life working in the financial sector of the Nigerian economy. He says the CBN should not have suspended forex supply to BTCs.
It's a market. The forex market is a market, and what you want in any market is to have dynamism of interplay between supply and demand and information flow. So when you limit the players on the supply side, there is no, it's not rocket science. The automatic implication is that supply is going to be strangulated and prices will respond.
To give a sense of balance and stability to the Naira, according to Sopitan, the CBN had to instruct the banks, to open forex desks, across their branches all over the country.
So what the CBN tried to do to balance that a bit was to now instruct the banks to open counters in their various branches so that they can sell across the counter dollars to needy members of the public, thereby hopefully replacing the services that the BDCs were rendering. But we all know how the banking industry and the banking system is, so I'm not sure how much that is going to work. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But clearly, for me, it wasn't a necessary move. There are more fundamental problems that they should have been paying attention to.
One of the reasons the CBN gave for suspending the forex supplies to the BTC was that the BTC's operators were round tripping with the money they were giving weekly.
They wanted the commercial banks to step in and then play that role. But clearly, as the market is now telling them, it hasn't worked. Because, there's a saying from the Bible that wisdom is justified of his children. So the result of a policy will tell you whether that policy has been successful or not. And the result is very simple and clear, and it's been immediate. As soon as they made that pronouncement, some of us had said, 550 naira, here we come. And that's where we're probably headed. So, of course, the market responded immediately. 2 days after that, the depreciation was almost like 20 naira. It hit 530 naira to the dollar at a point.
So for Shopito, it's not just all about policies, but about results.
The result of the policy should tell the CBN that maybe they still need some tweaking. They still need some action. They're responding, so they are coming out with additional policy statements to the commercial banks and all that. But like I said, for me, the fundamentals are the problem, not this. This is window dressing. This is just trying to treat eczema when our problem is leprosy. It's as simple as that.
If you're just joining me, you are on time to have a fair idea of how the Association of Bureau de Change Operators of Nigeria, ABCON, conduct their businesses, across the zones all over the country. Sir Azubuike Igbokwe is the National Vice President of ABCON. He speaks on the administration of the BDC's body.
At the level of the administration of BDC operators, what we try to do is to ensure that our members operate according to the CBN regulations and guidelines, and also we make sure that our members are properly trained, to comply as much as possible with the laid down rules and regulations, and also to enhance their efficiency. Find out areas of deficiency in terms of training and operations and all that, and also to protect members' business.
By so doing, the National Vice President believes the members, that is the operators, will now be more enlightened and be more properly, equipped to run their businesses by the rules of the CBN.
We believe at the level of ABCON that if all these things are properly done and put in place, that you have well-enlightened members, well-enlightened operators who will be ready to do the right things, and that being done, and we have a good foreign exchange policy, which is the desire of the Central Bank of Nigeria, our regulators, and of the government itself.
He enlightens on the structure on which the association runs.
Right, the president and the members of the National Executive Council who lay out the policy for the association and the body. Then you have the administrative structure, which is run by the executive secretary, who ensures that the day-to-day running of the secretariat and the support staff and all that. Then we also have the six-zonal structure, where you have the chairman taking care of the zones, whatever decision that is taken at the level of the National Executive Council, and is taken down to the zones to make sure that all the members are adequately informed and up to date with the requirements and the operational guidelines. And so that is basically how we run.
The trainings also cater to the zonal executive councils.
We have what we call also train the trainers training, where we train some members of the national and zonal executive council, because at the level of the zones also you have their zonal executive council, and they take down what we do at the national to the zones to make sure that the association is running efficiently and effectively. So when you have that kind of training, like train the trainer, where you train the national executive council members and the zonal executive council members and the secretary staff, they are expected now to take the training down to members, so that the zonal executive secretariat is as efficient and effective as the national secretariat. And the national secretariat governs all the zonal secretariats.
Ogbano Joshua Mohammed is the APCON chairman South-South Zone. He says the vast nature of the location of his members in that part of the country is a challenge for the body. However, the highly organized structure of APCON has been strong enough to tackle that particular weakness, in that part of the country.
Even though there are, pockets of challenges because of the vast nature of South-South, but APCON have a well-structured arrangement. We work with a zonal executive. We also have the National Executive Council. The South-South, what we have is that almost every state in the South-South has an officer at the zonal executive.
That structure, the APCON chairman South-South says, has ensured best practices in the administration of the body in that part of the country. For instance, the platform helps in the dissemination of information to members scattered across, that region of the country.
Like I said, we have a very robust platforms where we disseminate our information, especially issues that has to do with monitoring and compliance. Guiding members' activities and why they have to comply with the regulatory rules, the Central Bank of Nigeria.
As an operator himself and head of the BDCs in the South-South, the APCON chairman South-South Zone acknowledges the intervention of the CBN in the management of forex crisis in the country.
Up to this moment, we believe that the policy of direct sale, CBN intervention to the Bureau de change window is still very much relevant. All we need is to find a way, the regulator should find a way to strengthen it, working in collaboration with the BDC operators and APCON, so that we can get foreign exchange policy, right.
He hopes to see some changes in the management of forex policies and operations in the country going forward. He also desires greater automations of forex operations, in the forex space in Nigeria.
Going forward, we want to see BDC operators be digitized using technology to ensure that compliance and monitoring are made very easy. Issue of complex documentations are reduced, and issue of margin also reviewed, so that people will minimize the temptations of cutting corners, and all that.
Malam Ingiti is a board member of the APCON from the Northeast Zone. He says the insecurity in that region of the country has been damaging to their operations in that zone.
It has greatly affected our operations because as you know, the insecurity in that area, especially in Borno, Adamawa, and Yobe. These are the states that are most affected. And for Borno is the epicenter of the whole crisis. And therefore, it has actually crippled our businesses there.
Talking about the negative impact of this suspension of forex to supply to their members, Njiti says the possibility of job losses could create more problems for the system.
All these 40,000 employees have people under them who eat from what these BDC workers are providing. They have families, they have extended families, and so on. So I believe it is very important because this touches the economy.
Well, as you know, the reason why the businesses were created was so that Nigerians, you and I, could have, easier access to forex for our individual needs.
So, once this is achieved, our economy will be greatly enhanced. People do buy foreign exchange to export, to do export, and bring in goods, where these goods will be sold in the country for the betterment of the economy and the country at large.
Explaining the crushing tragic impact of terrorist activities in the Northeast, the BOT member from that part of the country says insurgency has been damaging and disruptive to their businesses in that part of the country.
The impact is enormous, because when CBN was giving us, especially in the northeast area, our borders are closed. Hitherto, we've been accessing foreign exchange from those coming from those neighboring countries to our place, and we have various ways of getting the foreign exchange, foreign currency. But now that CBN has stopped giving us the FX, it has limited. Our people are not getting the forex as they should because of the limitation, and we don't have foreigners coming in through the borders.
Representing 6 states, including the Federal Capital Territory, Shehu Mahmood is the APCON chairman, North Central Zone. Well, he superintends over 1,100 BDCs in this region.
We have our ESCO members that are well represented from all these states, that is Kwara State, Kogi State, Benue State, Plateau State, Nasarawa State, and Abuja. They are all well represented. And we do have a monthly meeting. Not only that, we represent them at national level, that each time the national APCO is having meeting in Lagos will represent these states and nation. Not only that, any directive from CBN, from Central Bank of Nigeria, we inform our members. And Niger State, sorry. Most importantly, Niger State, sorry, I did not mention area. And we carry out the activities, the daily activities with the CBN.
He speaks on the state of engagement between the CBN and APCON just before the announcement of forex supply suspension to the BTCs by the CBN.
Before the announcement of His Excellency the Governor of Central Bank, the 27th of July, we've been having engagement with Central Bank, at least with the top management. We'll be going to meetings, some meeting will close. I could remember vividly that day it was raining seriously and we are still in the meeting till around 11 o'clock in the night. And not only that, there are training going on. That's capacity building for our members.
He says the meeting APCON had been having with the CBN prior to the announcement had to do with the rules of engagement between the BDC operators and the CBN.
And the whole meeting is based on following the procedure that each BDC must follow. The procedure. Because before you agree to engage in bureau de change businesses, there are lists of do and don'ts, which you have agreed you will carry out. And that's why we are giving them training so that they can have capacity to deal with that.
The day the announcement was made, the CBN and the APCON were still in a meeting actually, to fine-tune the relationship between the BDC operators, the bureau de change operators, and the CBN.
But alas, as we were waiting to go for the next meeting, on that 27th, we heard the news over the radio and television that the whole BDC in Nigeria has been suspended for forex allocations. And not only that, there is no statement from anywhere that direct the BDC that this and this you are to engage yourselves. That is, we are just left alone. You can imagine the amount of telephone I received that day. It's like there is confusion.
So, given the level of consultation going on before the announcement itself came as a shock to members of the bureau de change operators.
I can tell you that those that participate in the market come through us. When I say us, I mean the APCO, that is the Association of Bureau de Change Operators of Nigeria. They came through us. We control the crowd for the IMTOs. The IMTOs are the one that's licensed by CBN to pay this dollar. And amount that is being paid is 10,000 twice weekly. That's 20,000 weekly. But I can assure you that 20,000 is more than those who are receiving 1 million, 2 million. Because of our closeness to the general public. The general public, that's what we call watching customer. They do come to us to buy. And because of this, we felt whatever is going to happen to the market, to the change, we expect to know as the leaders, we expect to know first, so that there can be engagement, so that we can advise our member on what to do.
Foreign exchange, hard currencies, dollar, pound sterling, euro, Dutch marks, French francs, and so on. It is all about Forex. It is the denominator that lubricates the economy as well as your life. International trade is run by it. Our national economy is dependent on it. As a manufacturer, it is what you need to bring your materials from overseas. And as a parent, it is what you need to send your children to school abroad. And for critical medical treatment, Forex is what you need to get that hospital outside Nigeria. So you need to know how it's faring in the market, how and where you can get it through the banks and the BDCs. Forex Matters will bring to you information on developments in the Forex market and how the community is responding, just to make it good for you. Forex Matters, your monitor on Forex developments.
You have heard from some key council members of the Association of Bureau de Change Operators of Nigeria, APCON, on how the body of the BDCs is administered. In the next episode, you will be seeing and hearing more from the council members who run the BDC operations in the country. Well, this is where we draw the curtain on today's episode. Till the next episode, when we shall be enlightening you more on the management of Forex in the country, I remain your friend and Forex guide. My name is Chris Polo Taibi. Do have a great day.